How's it going, everyone? So it is Saturday and what should be a lovely sunny day. It's not a lovely sunny day. In Shetland we've had a week of, I don't know, some of the warmest weather we've had, well, all year. For us, that's cooking. So we're going to come out this weekend and have a ball on the sea, but the sun's decided to disappear. But the one thing that's not quite showed up is the wind. So me and Meg are going to head out in the search of some scallops. And then we're going to find a pretty cool place to cook them up and maybe stay for the night. We think that this is probably one of the only times we'll get out to the locations we want to get to and put the tent up and have a good feed. So come along for the journey. We need to go find some scallops first, otherwise we'll just be eating nothing for dinner. So yeah, let's get stuck into it. We start by diving a place I've always wanted to have a look at. This is a tidal area between two islands, maybe only stretching about 30 meters between the two islands. And one thing I did not think I was going to see was a seabed like this. I haven't seen this for years, and the last time was on the west coast of Scotland on a spearfishing trip. We came across merle. This is a purple sort of hard coralline algae, and it's like twig-like shapes or stag's horns, and they are pretty hard to the hand, and they grow on a carpet over the seabed in the sand, forming big long pink carpets basically, and it looks pretty incredible. This stuff grows 1 to 2 millimeters a year, which is pretty incredible when you see the size of the shapes that we've got here. One of the main reasons I love seeing seabeds like this is it shows how healthy they are. This is stunning to see. This coral is years and years and years old by the size of it, and it's a great habitat for things to grow, whether it's baby scallops, sea urchins, sea cucumbers or brittle stars. So it's nice to see such a healthy environment and something that's not been trashed by scallop dredgers or overfishing. So it's a really incredible place to do some diving, even the lack of scallops, and that's what I need for dinner. Well, that has to be one of the best seabeds I've ever seen. The beautiful pink corals and stuff. It's just nuts the way it was all formed and stuff. Actually, the water's a lot clearer than I thought it was going to be. With all the sun we've had has brought the plankton up on the east coast, so it was a bit of a gamble coming this far. That was pretty nuts, wasn't it? That
is insane.
But the one thing we've not found is scallops. So we're going to go to another spot which we think there might be scallops, and we'll give that a go. start diving in a place I have found scallops before, and I make my way straight down to the seabed because if I want to have the dinner I want, I'm gonna have to find some scallops. Right down at the bottom, I level out and I make my way across the sand, looking from left to right, checking what sort of seabed it is, and there's a lot of wormholes and spoots or razor shells they are. Now, I'm not sure if the scallops like this sort of seabed. I think it can be too soft for them and they prefer harder, more coarser sand, but you do find one or two, and luckily I find one. So we have a start, and scallop dinner is looking a bit more likely. One big indicator that the seas are starting to warm up and summer's just around the corner is the jellyfish arrival, and I've actually never seen it like this. It's pretty incredible, and diving amongst them is eerie and special, and just happy they don't sting. Main things I love about scallop diving is I think you tend to really concentrate on your dive a lot more. You're not thinking about the gun, getting ready to shoot and getting to the kelp. You can concentrate on heading down there like a complete needle, using hardly any energy to get down. You're not pushing through the water. You get to the seabed and you level out, and you just slowly cruise along using as little movement as you can, conserving all the energy and looking about, hoping you find a scallop. Here you can see the seabed is slightly different. The seabed is a bit more coarse, the sand's more coarse, and I tend to find more scallops in this sort of terrain. After diving some deeper marks and getting around 8 to 9 scallops, I'm happy that we've got dinner sorted. Do not need any more between me and Meg. Hopefully some are big enough to chop in half as well. While Meg gets the blood back into her fingertips, it is actually pretty nippy today, especially without that sun. I'm gonna get the anchor up. I'm gonna go for a mooch about somewhere and then start heading ashore and thinking about dinner plans and where we're gonna stay tonight, because the world is our oyster, or Shetland's our oyster tonight. And fingers crossed, the sun might come out. I don't think it's looking like that.
It is a bit over there.
You never know, there's a bit of blue sky over there. We'll stay hopeful. Decided to come to a nice little beach. It's pretty stunning actually here. It's a lovely beach, but what do you see a hell of a lot of, which unfortunately I can't do much with today because I've only got a small boat, but definitely should plan to do something with it, and that is plastic. And probably the worst lot of plastic is all the ropes and crap like this, because as you know, the whales and all that just get absolutely mangled by them, and actually boats get wrapped up in them all the time, which is quite beneficial for me actually, because I'm a commercial diver and I have to go help them. But it shouldn't really be here, and we have actually a lot of whales. We have killer whales all the time in Shetland, a whole load of seals, which the killer whales just rip to pieces, which is quite amazing to see. And during the summer we have lots of humpbacks, minkies, basking sharks, and it wouldn't surprise me if they get caught up in a lot of this stuff. So something the whole world should look at is trying to plan to do a lot of stuff with this and clean it up. I could maybe form some sort of plan one day to clean a beach like this up and put it out to some people with some bigger boats and some different companies, but I thought I'd just do a little talk about that because it is pretty horrible to see on a lovely beach like this. Well, we have foraged something. A nice big black tub. Look at that. Meg's got an empty bottle of whiskey. Well, that's one bit of plastic removed, and be quite good actually for putting fish in or anything like that. Bargain. Right, with our little beach clean done, we're going to jump back in the boat and start heading home and getting ready to have a camp out, I think. I might try one more dive spot for scallops on the way back in that interested me on the way out, so we might have a quick look at that. Well, we have made it to our little island getaway. We went pedal to the metal or hand to the metal on the way out when faster was better, just getting on top of all that chop, and we had a lot of bags on the boat. We got rid of our dive stuff.
Filled it with camp stuff instead.
Filled it full of camp stuff and food and
oh, yeah.
beer, which we should probably put in the sea. We should get. And well, look at this. Our own little island for the day. This is one of our favourite islands on the west coast of Shetland. There are hundreds of islands, and you can see them all in the background. I would love to just dive these all one day, and hopefully I get round to them all, but I'm super stoked to be on this island. Have you ever stayed on this island?
No, never stayed on it, no.
Never stayed on it. Usually just come here for a barbecue in the summer, but we're kicking the summer off with our first camp on the island. It's the best wind we're going to have. Hopefully we have more in the summer, but you never know. Made the most of this weather window, so we're going to get the tent up, we're going to get the fire on, and we're going to have some booze and scallops, because we did get scallops. So let's get stuck into putting the tent up. It's been a while since I put this tent up. Usually I'm glamping it with a nice big old roof tent, but better get started. Barbecue is getting nice and warm, so let's get the scallops and start prepping them. It's definitely time for a beer now. Just have to find them because Meg's hidden them in the sea somewhere. Aha. Booze and scallops. Look at these scallops shocked. Now they usually have a big gap. You can see me getting the knife in there, right at the back of the shell. And basically all I do is just some sort of butter knife is all I use. Proper scallop knife has a curved edge, and they go in that way and they get it on the curved side. But I only have this knife, so I'm going in this gap here at the back. I aim towards the back like that. And then I kind of just sweep towards me, staying as tight to the bottom of the or top of the shell as I can. You'll see it'll open up. You can see the muscle in there. And then you just slowly scrape it off the top like that. Save as much of the meat as you can. Plenty of water comes out. And then you should be able to open it up like that. Saved a good amount of meat. So you've got the muscle in here. This is the muscle. This is the roe, which we're going to make a sauce out of. This bright orange bit, this is like the reproductive organ, I'm pretty sure. And then you've got the skirt here. This is how they filter feed. And on these is loads of little eyes, and scallops see shade, I'm pretty sure. They don't see colours or anything like that. So basically something swims over them, near them, that's when they sense the shade or whatever, and then they clamp back down and basically go flush with the seabed. And you can see all the little tentacly bits, how they filter feed. And then you've obviously got the shite sack at the back. And all I'm going to do is, because I'm trying to save the roe, is I'm going to actually get this out first. I chop it at the back, and then usually just dig my hands in and peel it out like that. And sometimes there's a tube inside, or there's always a tube inside there, but it's actually come out and it's in the scallop. See, that's what comes outside of that bit. Get rid of that, you don't want to be eating that. And then for the muscle, just get the salt water out. I grab the skirt and I just pull all the stuff around it like that. Basically, slowly peel it all off. Try not to take any of the meat off. And then you have just the muscle left, like that. And you have a pretty gristly bit here. This is like extra strength muscle. I chop down there, and then I slowly just basically cut it off the shell like that. And there you have your huge Shetland scallop, which we'll probably chop in half because it's bloody massive. One down, and now 5 or 6 to go. So let's get stuck into this. First things I'm going to do is quickly chop the roe up, and I want it some nice small pieces. Now these roe are beautiful and creamy, and I'm going to chuck them in the pan for now because I'm going to start making a sauce of that in a bit. Next thing I'm going to do is chop some of the bigger scallops in half because I want them all to cook evenly, and if you chop them in half they go a lot further. Next things are some prosciutto. Wrap that scallop up nice and tight and do it with all of them. And I'm going to use some chorizo, some quartered onion, and I'm basically just going to put them all on a kebab stick ready to chuck on the barbecue. The whole idea of the prosciutto is that the prosciutto takes the heat, gets nice and crispy, and the scallop goes nice and juicy in the middle, doesn't get overcooked and turn to rubber, which can happen. I've never done this on a barbecue. Done it in a pan, but there's only one way to find out if it works, and that's to do it. Barbecue is nice and warm. We've had a bit of drizzle come in, so we're kind of hoping it doesn't rain, but we're gonna get going. So what you got here is onion. What did we call that again? I've had a main brand. Chorizo, thank you. Chorizo, scallop wrapped in prosciutto. I've never done this before, and I've not spiced these or anything. I'm just going to cook it like this, have the barbecue taste, and I'm going to be using some honky outdoor spices for the sauce, which I'll do in a bit. But basically, never tried this before, and we're just going to give it a go. Hopefully it all doesn't just fall apart. But there we go, chuck it on the barbecue. Oh my god, it actually smells quite good already. Right, let's make the sauce. Now, this is all in my head, and I'm going to make it up. So, I've got the roe in the frying pan, which is actually a saucepan, and I've just got it on a steady heat because I don't want to overcook it. I just want to melt the butter in and chuck some garlic in there and start making a creamy sauce. Once this gets cooking, I'm gonna chuck some of this in, some Salt Bay. I go on and on about this stuff, but you know what, I absolutely love it. And now he's just chucking it in some nice containers like this. I basically have these in my bag ready to go on any sort of mission. Hunting mission, I take the spices he's tailored for all your bigger meats and stuff. And then he's got these nice spices for your seafood and stuff, or potatoes, literally anything. Go to town, but for me, nice, easy, chuck it in the pan, adds a nice little touch to it. And I'm gonna go this way, and I've never made it in a sauce, so I'm kind of looking forward to this. Chucking in some fresh herbs, I've got some parsley here, and I add more spices because I didn't think it was enough the first time. And when that's all cooked down, I put some creme fraiche in there. I'm using creme fraiche, a little bit healthier than straight cream. And I used all of it, which might be too much, but well, it's too late now. So, more spices it is. Barbecue is starting to look incredible. The smell is incredible. I'm struggling not to just eat it straight away. With some nice fresh pasta I boiled earlier, I chuck it back in the sauce to heat up, ready to add the topping. There you have it, all nice and barbecued, slightly charcoaled because every barbecue should be slightly nuked like that. And I'm just gonna pull it all off into the bowl, like that. And there you have it. That was one hell of a feed, and these came out the sea maybe 3 hours ago. This has been a pretty mad weekend. We've been wanting to come out and just get some scallops and have a feed for a while. We didn't think we'd be having it out on this island and camping out. That's pretty nuts, but it's too late. We're here now and we're just gonna enjoy it. We're gonna eat this food and chill out and have some beers. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little episode. It definitely shows how special Shetland is up here, I think. So shall I do it? Like, subscribe. No, it's pretty bad. Yeah, thanks for the support for everybody watching this. It just makes it more fun, really, getting out there and carrying on. So thanks for watching, and I'm sure we can think of something to go out and do soon enough. So see you all soon.